A warm welcome to Monash Virtual Open Day. My name is Stephanie Ha, I'm Student Recruitment Manager at the Business School. Before we start, I wish to acknowledge the people of Kulin Nations on whose land we've gathered today. I pay my respects to the elders past and present. I'd like to welcome Professor Robert Brooks, a Deputy Dean. To talk briefly about our courses before we start the open day, questions and answers. Over to you, Rob.
Thanks, Steph. So good afternoon, everyone. I'm Professor Rob Brooks, the Deputy Dean Education of the Monash Business School in the Faculty of Business and Economics. To follow from Steph's comments, I wish to acknowledge the people of the Kulin Nations on whose land we are gathered today. I pay my respect to their elders past, present and future. Thank you for joining us for this open day presentation. This is to give you a concise, high-level overview of the undergraduate programs taught by the Monash Business School. So we have a panel. We have Charlie, who's one of our current students in the Bachelor of International Business and the Bachelor of Business, double degree. You'll hear from Charlie a little later in the presentation. And we have Bianca, who's one of our alumni, who's a graduate of the Bachelor of Commerce, who's now at Deloitte Australia, and you'll be hearing from Bianca a little later as well. So you'll hear from both Charlie and Bianca as part of the presentation. And then when we come to questions, Steph will be able to put some questions to each of Charlie and Bianca in the session. So let's begin with why you would choose the Monash Business School. If you're a young person in senior secondary school in Melbourne, and you're thinking of studying in Melbourne, or if you're somewhere else interstate and overseas, thinking about studying in Melbourne, you're really lucky because we're fortunate in our city that we have many world-class universities. So amongst those many world-class universities, we have to come to the question of why would you choose to study with the Monash Business School in Monash University? We would say to you that we're in the top 1% of business schools, and we're the only business school in Victoria with triple accreditation. Triple accreditation means that we're prepared to put our programs forward to the major international accrediting bodies that look at the quality of curriculum and student experience in business education. So the historically North American body, AACSB, we're accredited with, the historically European body, the EFMD, who run the EQUIS accreditation, and the international AMBER body are the three accreditations we hold. That means we're prepared to have continuous quality improvement in our programs, and it also means we're going to focus on continuing to enhance the curriculum and the student experience for you in those degree programs. Your post-study work experience and career may take you anywhere in the world. You may spend it in Melbourne, you may spend it elsewhere in Australia, or you may spend it anywhere in the world. Wherever you go in the world, the top business schools and the top providers of business education will have the accreditations. And so people will be able to look and say, you've studied at a degree program that has the accreditation, and that will send some signal about quality. It will also send a very clear statement to you that we look to continuously improve what we do. We want you to be able to graduate job ready, to be able to go down the career path that you want to take. We want to help you develop networks with your fellow students, with our academics, with alumni, and with the many partner institutions we have around the world to help build connections for you. And a key part of studying at the Monash Business School and at Monash University is the flexibility within our degree options that give you a really broad range of things that you're able to do to be able to work through your journey. Let's speak briefly about the course portfolio at an undergraduate level in the Monash Business School. In essence, our degrees fall into two main categories: comprehensive degrees and specialist degrees. The business school offers three comprehensive degrees: the Bachelor of Business that runs at the Caulfield campus, the Bachelor of Business Administration that runs at the Peninsula campus, and the Bachelor of Commerce that runs at the Clayton campus. In each of those comprehensive degrees, you do a first year of foundation and introductory study that cover off the main business discipline areas: accounting, banking and finance, business law and taxation, economics, econometrics and business statistics, management and marketing. Having done that foundational study across all of the core business administration and commerce disciplines, what you then do in a comprehensive course is choose an area in which you major. An area in which you major is the area in which you build the technical expertise across your degree. The majors vary across the degrees, in part to reflect the mathematics entry requirements, which differ between the commerce, business and business administration degree. And so therefore some of the more mathematical majors are in the commerce degree, and some of the majors that don't rely on as much high-level mathematics are in the business and business administration degrees. But some of our majors, such as accounting, are available across all the degrees. So the comprehensive degrees are what you do if you want to come in and build a broad foundational knowledge and then have some choice about what you do with a major area of study. By way of contrast, our specialist degrees are the degree programs in which you pre-commit to focusing your study in a specialist area early on. So the Bachelor of Accounting, the Bachelor of Banking and Finance, and the Bachelor of Marketing are our core field-based specialist degrees. In each of those degrees, you do some of the foundational units, and then you focus your study either in accounting, banking and finance, or marketing to reflect the specialist area and the specialisation that you have pre-committed to. The Bachelor of Actuarial Science, the Bachelor of Economics, and the Bachelor of Finance are our Clayton-based specialist degrees. In the Actuarial Science and the Finance programs, you focus your study in those areas, and in the Bachelor of Economics, you have a choice whether you specialise in an economics domain or in an econometrics and business statistics domain. The Bachelor of International Business is our specialist degree that in 2021 will run at the City location, but in 2022 will return to the Caulfield campus. A big part of what we do at Monash is in terms of double degrees. Some people look at the comprehensive and the specialist degrees discussed previously and say, I like each of the features of those, so they do an internal double degree. They mix one of the comprehensive degrees together with one of the specialist degrees, so they have that specialist focus and choice. Alternatively, other people are attracted to the idea of mixing their business administration, or commerce study with other discipline areas. So we offer a broad range of double degrees with other faculties. The specific combinations depend on campus location and on mathematics entry requirements, but you'll see we have quite a broad portfolio. In our curriculum, we give you the opportunity to also build on your student experience. And some of that you will do in the curriculum, and some of that you will do in a co-curricular basis or an extracurricular basis. That might be through internships, it might be through student organisations, or it might be through international study. And what you're going to do now is hear from Charlie and Bianca with some dimensions of their student experience.
I'll take it from here. Hi guys, I'm Charlie. I'm currently studying a Bachelor of Business and Bachelor of International Business. I'm in my final year of 3 years. And as a part of my studies, I actually got to travel abroad to Beijing, China, and study at Peking University for a couple of months. That was last year. Within that, as well as Rob was talking about, I got the opportunity to intern as well with the Chinese Australian Chamber of Commerce, which I could only, really highly recommend. If you get the chance to look into a study abroad program or an internship or a mix of both, 100% take up the opportunity if you can. Yeah, I might just pass over to Bianca now.
Thanks, Charlie, and that's awesome to hear your experiences. I know a few of my friends that I'm working with alongside, but also attended Monash Business School. They did something quite similar on the study abroad program, and that was they only have positive things to say. So from my end, I also did an industry-based learning unit, which coincided with an internship at a Melbourne-based IT startup, and that was fantastic because you get real-world experience alongside practical tools to kind of set you up for success in your career. And also in terms of Monash, like the broader Monash picture and the amazing opportunities you get, I'd probably say One of them was actually the Monash Elite Student Athlete Program, which helps emerging athletes while studying at the same time, give them the support they need.
Thanks, Charlie and Bianca. That's really great. And we'll have the opportunity for some questions to go direct to you soon. So this presentation's been designed to give you a high-level overview. You've probably got lots of questions from it. So please come and visit the booth as part of Monash's Open Day and chat with our staff, and they'll be able to respond to your questions. You can also connect with us through the variety of social media channels that are shown on the slide here. But we have now got the opportunity to have some questions come to myself and Charlie and Bianca. So I'm now going to pass back to Steph, who's going to put some questions to us.
Thanks, Rob. I've got quite a number of questions coming forth, and the first one perhaps is to Bianca and Charlie. And why did you choose your degree, and what was the highlight of your studies while at Monash?
Do you want to kick off, Charlie?
All right, yeah, no worries. So why did I choose the degree that I did? Well, funnily enough, you know, when I was in year 12 and I was looking around at all the different sorts of degrees that were around, my main focus was on the Bachelor of Business, a single degree at Monash. And it was only when I attended one of these open days that I actually found out about the international business side of things, and that you could actually pair it to make it effectively a fast-tracked double degree, so 3 years. And that really stood out to me, where I could effectively do what a lot of people do and, you know, go through the Bachelor of Business, and I'm majoring in banking and finance, which a lot of my friends are also doing. But then also have that specialization, which is really important at the moment, to sort of, you know, set yourself up above the others and say, sure enough, I've got this degree, but also here's what else I can bring to the table. As a part of the highlight, definitely that study abroad program, learning about the different culture with effectively a bunch of my friends. Yeah, absolutely fantastic experience.
Yeah, awesome. And I guess from my experience, I'll build on what Charlie's saying. Really, I came and studied science subjects in VCE. So business was not something at the forefront of my mind, but I knew that, you know, having business skills, you can't really go wrong learning about that at university. And that gives you options to be able to move into different industries while still learning really critical skills. And so actually my parents, they suggested I have a personality for marketing. I'm not too sure what that means. But I just decided to study my Bachelor of Commerce, majored in marketing and management, and honestly, absolutely loved it. And I would say the highlight of my experience was definitely the internship and the second and third years of your degree. I think the first year gives you a really good foundation for what you can expect. And then the second and third, you go into specialization, and that's where you can really sink your teeth into what types of impacts and things that you want to learn about the business world.
Thanks, Bianca. Thanks, Charlie. This question is to Charlie from Dimpy. What did you learn in international business?
Yeah, thanks, Dimpy. Look, a lot of it does cover the basics of business, but then it takes it a sort of a step further, and it says, okay, well, what if we apply this, you know, in a global setting? Everything we do these days is global. As we've seen with this pandemic, it's like incredibly easy to still operate across borders and communicate across borders. So it's all about sort of adding that extra little layer on top about, okay, let's look at it in the international setting, or what if we did the same sort of thing, or what are the economics of a particular country that we trade with? Yeah, I'd say that's probably where the differentiation lies.
Okay, the next question. What is it's double degree, double the load? Charlie, this is probably for you as well.
Yeah, there's a really good question. It's one I had when I was looking at the double degree as well. And no, absolutely not. It's not double the load. It's not double the work you have to do. The fantastic thing about it, particularly with the double degree that I did, is that For the first 2 years, when you're doing your international business degree, you're ticking off all the like the core units. So you have core units and then your major units. You're ticking off all the core units for your second degree as well. And so what that means is effectively, I'm getting my business degree solely by doing the major. So I've done all the core units that I had to do, and I'm just finishing off the degree in my last year. So yeah, absolutely not.
Thanks, Charlie. Another question to Bianca. How did you do your internship? Was that arranged by the university?
Yeah, so there's a series of units that you can take in your degree, which enables you to kind of take on a project at a organization. So you can either get it arranged to be connected with an organization through Monash University, or you can go out and find your own organization to do an internship with. And then basically from there, it's like there'll be a unit code which you can find when you're enrolling in your units each year. And then basically you have a certain period of time where you're establishing certain objectives that you want to achieve, and then you kind of report and share the things that you've learned as part of the unit.
Thanks. And maybe continuing on from that, how has your degree helped you to where you are at now?
Sure. So funnily enough, in my final years of university, we did a case study about some sort of retailer moving internationally. This was in like a strategic management subject. And it's funny, when I applied for some graduate positions in the assessment center and case study section, it was funny what I actually learned at university. I could use the information and the insights that I had actually directly apply in getting me my job today. But more broadly as well, I think the thing that you get out of university is the networks you build, friends, obviously like lifelong friends even, and then also I would just say the critical thinking. So doing group assignments and taking real world examples and trying to solve those. That type of thinking that I learned from Monash is now helping me in my day-to-day job.
Thanks. Next question to Rob. What's the difference between a double major and a double degree?
Thanks, Steph. So in terms of our degrees, the degree programs in the business school, be they the comprehensive or the specialist, all have 8 free electives in them. So a standard degree is 24 units, and 16 of those units are occupied with the core foundation units and the major in a comprehensive degree, and then you have 8 free electives. So you can use your free electives to do a second major as part of the degree. In a double degree, what we have happen is for the internal doubles, it's a bit like where Charlie spoke of earlier. There's some core units that are common. So an internal double degree, if it's the Bachelor of International Business combination with the Bachelor of Business, it's 3 years of study because you do the summers as well. If it's, say, the Bachelor of Business with the Bachelor of Marketing, it's 4 years. So you have room for a second major there as well, but you also have room for additional electives if you're interested in doing exchange or study abroad experiences, or you might be interested in studying in other discipline areas. Alternatively, if you do the business or commerce as a out of faculty or external double degree, say with the Bachelor of Arts, you're using those electives to be cross-credited with the arts programs. So it's a choice of, do you want to have 3 or 4 years of study? Do you want to have additional electives that you might be able to do? Or are you happy using your electives within a double major? The degree structures have the flexibility where you can make any of those options work. It depends best on what's your interest.
Thanks, Rob. Another question for Charlie from Jack. Is there other options to study abroad besides China?
Yeah, Jack, that's right. There's a whole range varying from actual Monash campuses located abroad. I think there's one in Malaysia and one in Prato, Italy. And then we also had the opportunity, I had some friends go to Japan, I think South Korea. There was another one in there as well. But yeah, look, there's really a lot of opportunity. The reason I chose China, was because I really wanted to make some business connections over there, which I did with my internship. But I know someone who absolutely loved Japan, so they picked Japan. So yeah, there's a lot of flexibility there.
Thanks, Charlie. On further to that, could you tell us a bit about the internship and the study abroad?
Yeah, so the study abroad itself was, I think, 4 months, and 3 and a bit of that was effectively studying a semester at Peking University. So we were learning classes in English, all focused around different aspects of the Chinese economy or the Chinese environment. So we got a really good understanding of China as a whole. As a part of that, we also got to do some pretty basic Mandarin lessons. If your Mandarin's already well developed, then you get placed in a class that's more suited to you. And after that, a couple of us approached some organizations that we'd been in contact with. The Chinese Australian Chamber of Commerce is the one that I decided to go with on the topic of doing an internship there. So that lasted for 3 weeks. That's optional. A lot of people didn't do the internship and decided to come home early. But if you get the opportunity, absolutely take it up. You make great connections abroad. It's good experience, looks great on the CV. You really can't go wrong.
Thanks, Charlie. I've got a last question, and this is probably for Rob. With regards to business analytics as a major, is that offered just at undergraduate, or is there options at postgraduate as well?
Thanks, Steph, for the question. So in the Bachelor of Commerce, there's a business analytics major. That business analytics major at undergraduate level in the Bachelor of Commerce has a sequence of units from econometrics and business statistics, and then gives students an ability to focus on either more in the econometrics and business statistics dimension of analytics, or more in the information technology dimension, or mix them together. So you can do the major in an undergraduate degree program. We also have a postgraduate Master of Business Analytics that we teach. That's a program that students can do at postgraduate level.
Thanks, Rob. And I guess we have a bit of time for a last question. What are the career opportunities for business? Perhaps this is open to Rob and Bianca.
Career opportunities, wow. So our degrees give students a lot of options with where they go and where they take them. So your career opportunities will be a function of the major areas that you specialise in, but it will also be a function of the experiences you have as a student, be that through internships, be that through international study abroad experience, and be that through working with clubs and societies. So there are lots of flexible options available to you depending on where your interests lie. We would have lots of students end up in the graduate programs at both federal and state government level or through major companies, but we'd also have some students go into smaller startups, and we'd also have some people start their own. Bianca, what would you like to add?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that was really well articulated, but I would just share from my story and my friends' stories where we studied a Bachelor of Commerce, definitely through the societies, through the networks, through the people that you meet, and even just the opportunities that you get from Monash Business School. I would definitely say the opportunities are very abundant here.
Thanks, Bianca, Rob, and Charlie. That ends our session today. Like what Rob said, please do come and visit us at Welcome to the Business booth in our exhibition hall if you have any further queries. For those questions posed that I didn't have the opportunity to answer during this time, please come by and chat to us via the live chat there. Thanks very much and have a good day. Bye.